What is going on, guys and girls? Welcome back to TvandMe. I am Kevin and it's time for The Walking Dead. What an episode we had last week. Firstly, Axel got killed, the guy we learned a bit more about in the last episode. He made me smile. It seemed like he was getting close to Carol, and then boom, shot in the back of the head, shot out of absolutely nowhere. I honestly think that death was on the same level of Shane in terms of shock factor. Shock with Shane, I sort of knew Shane's death was coming, or it could be coming, with all the tension he'd created, but it just came out of nowhere. And it's the same with this one with Axel. It was just 1 minute he's talking to Carol, the next second, boom, dead. Also last episode, Rick's hallucinations seemed to get worse. I mean, it's an escalating situation with him. Before he was just seeing these hallucinations, but now he's interacting with them. I mean, he went up to Laurie and he touched her, or she touched him. And does that mean further down the line the interaction between them is going to get worse, and maybe they'll start telling him to do stuff? I hope not, because that would be a road down crazy I don't think Rick can recover from. Whereas at the minute it seems like he needs to nip it in the bud, and this needs to stop because he is getting worse and worse. I mean, the conversation at the fence sort of shows how bad it's getting, because, you know, he looked so confused. He didn't know what was going on around him. He was just, it seemed like he was empty in his eyes. He was just exhausted, and it's a bad road he's going down. And I just hope that the hallucinations stop, or the hallucination of Laurie talks to him, but not in a bad way. It talks to him and makes him have peace in his own mind with everything that's happened. The other bad thing to happen, of course, was the fact the governor turned up, smashed down the front gates to the prison and flooded the place with walkers. I suppose there was one good thing to come out of that episode though, and that was the whole Daryl thing, you know. After Daryl and Mel rescued those people on the bridge, Mel went to rob them, and I think the fact there was a baby in this situation, I don't know if it was just because of that, but I think the baby was the trigger mechanism. Even though Daryl knew what was happening was wrong, that baby sort of reminded him of Ass Kicker or Judas, and he sort of snapped into, no, this is bad, we can't do this, and he put his crossbow to Mel's back, and Mel backed off. The family got away, and I think in that moment Mel realised Daryl has changed. He's no longer the person he used to be. His experiences with this group and how close he's grown with them has turned him into, or maybe not even turned him, it's brought out the goodness in Daryl, rather than always having to be the bad guy on Merle's side to make Merle accept him. Also, we learned a bit more about their backstory with the dad beating both of them, and then from that Daryl stormed off, and I thought they'd separated, but Merle went with him, and then they both turned up at the prison, thankfully. I'm thankful they went that way, because I honestly thought they'd go out the series for a while, but they didn't. They're back with the group, and who knows, maybe we'll have a happy ever after with Daryl and the rest of the group. But Merle is there, so again, he is the X Factor, and it's possible that he's going to be more trouble than he's worth. So let's leave that there. I want to get straight into this episode. I want to find out the repercussions from last episode, and I also want to see where Judith is, because that's starting to worry me. So let's get straight into it. This is season 3, episode 11.
Rick says we're not running, we're not running.
No, better to live like rats.
You got a better idea?
They've locked Merle out.
Yeah, we should have slid out of here last night, lived to fight another day.
We ain't scared of that prick.
Y'all should be. That truck through the fence thing, that's just him ringing the doorbell.
We can't just sit here. Get back here!
Ooh.
You're slipping, Rick. We've all seen it. We understand why. But now is not the time. You once said this isn't a democracy. Now you have to own up to that. So get your head clear and do something.
Herschel's not fucking about no more, is he? I suppose Rick did need a bit of a kick up the ass with everything that's going on.
If I say something, will you promise not to be mad?
I won't get mad.
You should stop.
Stop what?
Being the leader. Let Herschel and Daryl handle things. They deserve a rest.
That kid is smart.
What's this I hear about the prison? You said you were going to leave it alone. No retaliation.
I went to negotiate.
Poor naive
Bad enough we
Andrea.
got biters at our gates. We can't have aggressors just miles away.
I don't know what you're trying to prove, but enough is enough. I'm going to see them.
You go to that prison. Stay there.
Do you ever just get a character in a show you want to shake and just say, wake up?
Rick, I don't think Merle living here is really gonna fly.
I can't kick him
I
out.
wouldn't ask you to live with Shane after he tried to kill you.
Merle has military experience. He may be erratic, but don't underestimate his loyalty to his brother.
Did hack it off yourself?
No. Rick did.
Awful kindly of him.
Saved my life. Gave me more time with my girls. Gave you more time with your brother. Can't put a price on that.
He's gonna kill me first. Michonne, my brother. Then your girls, Glenn, Carl, the baby, whoever else is left. He'll save Rick for last, so he can watch his family and friends die ugly. That's who you're dealing with.
I haven't had a chance to say. I'm glad you came back.
To what? All this?
This is our home.
I thought she'd be angry at him, to be honest.
This is a tomb.
He's your brother, but he's not good for you. Don't let him bring you down. After all, look how far you've come.
Is she doing what Andrea did to him? Not Andrea, sorry, Michonne. What Michonne did to him. Tyrese.
You know, if we're gonna live under the same roof, we should clear the air. This whole hunting you down thing, that was just business.
Like the Gestapo.
Yeah, exactly. I've done a lot of things I ain't proud of, before and after. Hope we can get past it. Let bygones be bygones.
I don't think Michonne's the forgiving type. I think she's one to hold a grudge.
We have a town. It's walled.
There's about 70 of us.
Oh, they're not going to
take
become
people in?
part of the governor's group, are they?
We do. I'll take them back.
Are you sure?
Hands up! Turn around! Turn around now! Get down! On the floor.
My, how things have changed, Andrea. How things have changed.
After you saved me, we thought you were dead. Oh my God.
I can't believe this.
Oh, she doesn't know about Laurie either, does she? Or T-Dog.
Where's Shane?
Or Shane. Fuck.
And Laurie?
She had a girl. Laurie didn't survive.
Neither did T-Dog.
I'm so sorry. I'm not an enemy, Rick.
We had that field, courtyard, until your boyfriend tore down the fence with a truck and shot us up.
He said you fired first.
Still believing the
Fine.
bullshit.
He killed an inmate.
Please
who
wake up,
survived.
Andrea.
I don't get it. I left Atlanta with you people, and now I'm the odd man out?
He almost killed Michonne, and he would have killed us.
With his finger on the trigger. Isn't he the one who kidnapped you? Who beat you? Look,
This is just a
I
massive
cannot
mess. It's so
excuse
complicated.
or explain what Philip has done. But I'm here trying to bring us together.
We're gonna kill him. I don't know how or when, but we will.
What makes you think this man wants to negotiate? Did he say that?
No.
I'll tell you what. Next time you see Philip, you tell him I'm gonna take his other eye. We've taken too much shit for too long. He wants a war, he's got one.
I didn't choose him over you. I wanted a life. Once we entered Woodbury, you became hostile.
That's because I could see it.
See what?
That you were under his spell from the second you laid eyes on him.
That is not true.
And you still are.
No, I am there because those people need me.
And what about these people?
He sent Merle to kill me. Would have sent him to kill you too if you'd come with me.
But you didn't, did you?
Wakey, wakey,
He
Andrea.
chose a warm bed over a friend. That's why I went back to Woodbury.
Exposed him for what he is.
She's still going to make excuses, isn't she? Michonne is so badass. She just looks badass, she speaks badass.
Ran into some whack job in a prison.
You saw him.
Oh yeah, screaming like an idiot.
He's a little unhinged. But the others seemed decent. Everything seemed cool, and the other leader came back and practically shoved a gun in my face.
This guy Rick showed up all of a sudden, chased us out.
You need help with these guys? We're in.
Whatever we gotta do to earn our keep.
And Shane? Rick killed him. The night we left the farm, that whole Randall thing was a lie. Shane tried to kill Rick.
Shane loved Rick.
Shane loved Lori.
More.
The governor. You need to do something.
I am.
You need to sleep with him. Give him the greatest night of his life. Get him to drop his guard, then when he's sleeping, you can end this.
She won't do that.
Be careful.
I wish Andrea would just stop and go back into the prison and stay there.
I'm going on a run.
Head out tomorrow.
No, you stay here. Keep an eye on your brother. I'm glad you're back.
Really?
If he causes a problem, it's on you.
I got him.
I'll take Michonne.
You sure that's a good idea?
I'll find out. And Carl. He's ready.
She won't do it.
You gotta hold on. You gotta hold on. You gotta hold on. You gotta hold on.
So there we have it, season 3, episode 11, and the main point I got out of this episode was how much Andrea has to play in this war that's going on between Rick's group and the governor's group, because let's be honest here, she is the one thing that the two groups have in common, and the governor loves her, but I don't think he respects her enough that if she said don't do it, he wouldn't, because we've seen in the past he just does what he wants to do. And same goes for Rick. Like, if Andrea tells Rick not to do something, he's not going to say, oh, I won't do it now, because she's been with the governor. He knows she's been sleeping with him. She knows she's with him, so she could just be trying to trick him. And if Andrea had stayed loyal to Rick, and she had done what Carol suggested, is to kill the governor in his sleep when she got close to him, which at the end there I wondered for a millisecond if she'd do it, and she didn't do it. And let's be honest, the only thing that is keeping Rick's group and the governor's group at war is the governor. If the governor was removed from the equation, the war would end, because there'd be no more grudges to be had. They'd come together, and who knows, they'd probably build a prosperous city or a prosperous town. But Andrea wasn't strong enough. She obviously feels something for the governor, and Michonne has pointed out what the governor's done wrong. Merle has, I'm sure other people pointed it out to her. and she just ignores it. She's got the blinkers on. She doesn't want to know. She sort of registers, but she seems like she's made her decision. She's gonna be with the governor, and even if it costs the lives of people from Rick's group, even if it costs the lives from people in the governor's group, people that are just living there, they think this group's attacked them and they're trying to kill him because of the governor's shitty words and his fucking propaganda. They're gonna fight Rick's group, and people are gonna die just because of one man. And I think Andrea at this point needs to see the bigger picture. She needs to see that if it wasn't for the governor, things could be at peace. One man, and she had that opportunity right there to end it, and she chose not to. So for that, I'm annoyed at Andrea. I'm annoyed that she's ignoring all the problems, and I know some of you like Andrea and you see her point of view, and I understand that, but in the same breath, when friends, kids, women, men, children, just everyone is putting their lives at risk for this one man, she needs to kill him. She needs to end him. I just went on a big rant there, I'm sorry, but it just irks me so much that Andrea had the opportunity to end this whole saga that's been going on in one moment, and she was I guess she was selfish about it. She chose, no, I sort of feel something for this guy, and she chose not to do it. So how many people are going to die because of that one decision? Also this episode, of course, we saw Tyrese and his group join the governor. But you know what? Even though I think Ben and Alan would shoot at Rick's people, would shoot at them and try and kill them, I feel like Sasha and Tyrese, even though Rick did come across crazy, I think they've seen the baby, they've seen Herschel, they've seen the rest of the group, and they realise they are good people just trying to survive. So maybe Tyrese and Sasha will not go in and try and kill him. I know they've said they will and they're going to earn their keep, but maybe in the moment when they come face to face, they'll maybe turn on the governor. Again, this is me clutching at straws, hoping for good things to come out of bad situations, but I feel like those two have good hearts and they've seen that Rick's group aren't bad, even though they have got a bad impression or a bad first impression of Rick. I feel like they know those are good people, so they won't attack. But Ben and Alan, straight away they jumped in there. We'll do it. We'll kill them. So I don't give a shit if those two die. But Sasha and Tyrese, I want them to come round and realise that Rick's group isn't bad and the governor is the bad guy. Hopefully someone drills some sense into them. Hopefully they see things which point to the fact the governor's a bad guy and they can sort of come to their senses. I can't blame them at the minute though for going on board with the governor, because as far as they're concerned, this guy's just helped him with medical attention. They don't know what he's like. They don't know what he's done in the past. And all they've got to go on with Rick is that crazy breakdown he had in the prison. So I just hope that a certain set of circumstances unveil themselves to make Tyrese and Sasha go down a path where they do team up with Rick. But again, like I say, clutching at straws. Tell you what is sort of good though from this episode. Merle seemed to be pulling his weight a bit. Like, he didn't seem to be causing any trouble. He seems to be trying to make up with Michonne, even though Michonne was like, dickhead. I don't think that's what she was thinking in her whole mind the whole time he was talking, like, shut up, you dickhead. And yeah, I don't think Michonne's going to forgive him, even though maybe Merle's trying to make up for what he's done, or maybe he's just being Merle and he's just trying to get people to trust him. And then he's going to go through with the plan him and Daryl had before, just to rob him, then disappear. Even though I don't think Daryl would do that. I think Merle's the character where he just would. He hasn't changed, let's be honest. He don't just change like that. He's still the same guy. And I just hope Daryl... No, I'm not going to say I hope Daryl. I think Daryl would. I trust Daryl enough now where I think he would call Merle out on his bullshit. And we even saw it in the car with those other strangers. So if he tried to touch Rick's group, I think he would do the right thing. And I think while Daryl's got his eyes on him, everything will be okay. It's just whether Merle respects Daryl enough not to try anything. I just want to point out one quick thing as well, at the fact that Carol wasn't mad at Daryl for leaving, for not saying goodbye. It seemed like she just accepted it. And one of you guys said it in the comment, I can't remember who it was, but thanks for whoever it was, you said that Carol is such a great character, and she's such an underrated character. She's been through so much, like being beaten by her husband, losing her daughter, getting close to Daryl, him leaving, coming back, getting close to Axel, him dying right in front of her, and her having to use his body as a human shield to survive. I mean, I know everybody in this world has gone through crap, but Carol was going through crap with her husband before the apocalypse, and she's just gone on. And maybe that's what gives her survival instincts, the fact she had that shitty life before this Walker pandemic. And like I say, an amazing character. I just hope we see more development from her. And now Daryl's back, hopefully they can get close again. And I know before I was a little bit weirded out by the fact I saw her as a mother figure to Daryl when he was shot, but that's because she was mothering him. But now the show's developed more, I've seen how they are, I know I've grown to like Carol more and more. I feel like their relationship would be a good thing, and if it was to happen in the future, I'd be really happy with that. But you know, it's The Walking Dead, so I can't guarantee these things. For all I know, one of them's going to die in the next few episodes, and my life would be devastated again. So yeah, hopefully it happens, hopefully nothing bad happens, but I guess we'll have to wait and see as usual. This episode as well, I gained a lot of respect for a character, and that character was Carl, because of what he said to his dad about him maybe stepping down from the leadership role. And one thing I noticed about Carl is he's always in a frame, but he's always off to the side, almost like an outsider. Because he's a kid, the adults in the group probably forget he's about, and he sort of sits there, watches, and I think because of that, he has like this outside perspective of what's going on. And that's actually used for him. You know, he can assess the situation that's going on from the outside and watch people interact. And I think he's seen everything that's going on with his dad, everything, like all what's being talked about with Glenn and the group. And he's sat there, he's thought about it, and he thinks, you know, my father, he probably needs a break. And he's approached him, he's told Rick, and I think Rick should take that on board. I personally think Rick should take a break from the leadership role. And I don't mean permanently either. I mean until he gets his, for lack of a better word, shit together. Because even Herschel shouted him at this in this episode. I think Herschel's had enough as well, or he's getting frustrated rather, at how Rick is dealing with stuff, just going off all the time to do his own thing. And he knows Rick wanted a dictatorship, so Rick should be here making decisions instead of going off. And actually at the end of this episode we learned that Rick said he's going out on a run, and he's taking Michonne and Carl with him. And that said to me, until he said Carl actually, but him and Michonne, that said to me he's going to go on a 2-man mission or a 1-man 1-woman mission to try and kill the governor. They're going to try and sneak in there and kill him, even if it costs him his life. But when he said Carl, that sort of made me take a step back from that thought and think, is he really going to do that? But then he followed that up with, he's old enough now, it's time he actually did this stuff. And maybe he wants his son to come in and kill the governor with him, to realise the world they're living in now. I don't know, maybe that's me thinking too far ahead in terms of Rick's grudge, but I feel like it's a possibility, specifically because he chose Michonne to go with him. I know he said he wants Daryl there to look after Merle, but why couldn't he just take Daryl with him and bring Merle with him as well? I think Rick's focused on dealing with the situation on his own, and well, not on his own, with Michonne and Carl, and I have a feeling that he's going to go after the governor. But that's about it, guys. Let's leave that there. If I have forgotten to talk about anything, remember you can leave a comment in the comment section below. I read every comment every week, so I will try and talk about something if I feel it needs talking about, if I've got something to add to it. Thank you for watching, guys, and bye bye. Thank you for watching Season 3 Episode 11 of The Walking Dead with me. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like because it helps me and the channel grow. Also, leave your comments below with your theories, your speculation. Please, no spoilers. Remember, if you want to keep up to date with what's going on with the channel, you can follow me on Twitter at TvandMe Reacts, or you can subscribe.